Hello everybody, Life Song here. Welcome to the channel for Happy Spirit, where we give readings and such. So today I have this special, this handmade, hand-woven basket, and and this is a hand crocheted little toy from my friend, and I keep it here with this basket because this is a basket of different quotes from different Native American leaders and tribes throughout American history. Or at least the different things that are recorded. And so I always go to this for inspiration sometimes, and I just see there's a lot. And so sometimes at the end of a reading for somebody, I will, in the specialty intuitive readings that I offer through Happy Spirit, or for the lessons or the coaching or even the classes, I'll just pull out a random quote and just, let the hand of God decide. I mean, I'll just let the, hand of fate or what is an expression, but decide what comes out. So for this one, for this video recording, I chose, the first one was, "Hear me, that the people may once again find the good road and the shielding tree, Black Elk." I think that's beautiful. I don't know if anybody knows very much about Black Elk, but he gave a great prophecy about the way life will change in the coming, centuries for humanity, for people. It's a very, very, very intense prophecy and beautiful, and one ultimately of, it's just a grace to even know it because it's so beautiful. So Black Elk's saying to you, maybe you ought to look up that prophecy, because it's saying, "Hear me, that the people may once again find the good road and the shielding tree." The good road, I think, being the road of connection with the divine, which is love. So keep connecting with love. I think that's the encouragement here. And then the last one is from Red Cloud of the Oglala Lakota tribe. "I hope the great Heavenly Father, who will look down upon us, will give all the tribes his blessing, that we may go forth in peace and live in peace all our days, and that he will look down upon our children and finally lift us far above this earth, and that our Heavenly Father will look upon our children as his children, that all the tribes may be his children, and as we shake hands today upon this broad plan, we may forever live in peace." That's so beautiful. It just reminds me of the peace that is owed to the children of the North American continent, who of course are his children, and never were not his children. And when I say his, I mean just God. Like it is my personal belief that God is love. And so, yes, maybe this is a nice reading for whoever our divine messages from the spirit of the ancestors, for whoever is synchronistically arriving upon this reading, to go out and maybe do a little research into Native American history and culture and beliefs, and the way that they love each other and the land, and how maybe you may, you never know what just a little idea, a little piece of knowledge can do, because you have so many gifts. And if you just had the right knowledge, the right data set, the right connections, maybe you could help bring peace to all the children of love, of God, which includes Native American peoples. You just never know what a little thing could do to change the lives of yourself and all that you're connected with. So that's beautiful. And this one I'm just gonna give one more because it struck, 3 is the magic number, and it kind of just jumped out at me. "So live your life that the fear of death can never enter your heart. Trouble no one about their religion, Respect others in their view, and demand that they respect yours. Love your life. Perfect your life. Beautify all things in your life. Chief Tecumseh. Whew. Now that's a doozy too, because like, you know, each person's belief system is unique to them. They may say they're Christian, they may say they're Muslim, they may say they're Hindu, but each Hindu, each Muslim, each Christian has a different belief system that's unique to them as compared to any other Christian, as compared to any other Muslim, compared to any other Hindu. So I think that respect others in their view and demand that they respect yours. I think that's beautiful because the light goes both ways. It's not just you giving, it's also you receiving and putting your foot down and establishing that your standards are virtuous ones. I think respect is a virtue. So I think that's very, very beautiful to demand virtue in your life from yourself and others, or else you do your own thing and you keep away from those who do not adhere to those standards. Beautiful. Love your life. Perfect your life as only you can do, because only you know what it means to be you. Beautify all things in your life. I think he's saying choose virtue, because virtue is beautiful. So beautify all things in your life. And so choosing virtue includes loving yourself, respecting yourself, and demanding that others respect you too. Now, if they want to be in your life, and if they don't, then they don't have to be. So this is a very powerful message that it's okay to kind of strike out on your own, to believe in connection with the ancestors of Native American belief systems, culture, and also that that's part of how you beautify your life. That's part of how you choose virtue. And yeah. So live your life that the fear of death can never enter your heart. Yeah, just remember there's nothing to fear. There's only everlasting afterlife. And it's only as good as you are. So that's why he's saying choose virtue. Because the light that you choose, you get to keep forever. Yeah. So beautify all things in your life by loving your life. That's just so gorgeous, huh? Oh, so powerful. Anyway, those are some messages from the ancestors today. Get out there and connect with the earth and the sacred people who love the earth, the indigenous ones, not just Native Americans, all indigenous, or who in deep, profound connection and inter-exchange with the earth in like every waking moment of their lives. It's such a beautiful way to live. And maybe that is part of how you beautify your life, is to rejoin in oneness with the life force, the beauty, the divine, which is already all around us and has always been present around us and given to us to enjoy and to contribute to as well, to be a part of. I'll just say this. I mean, this isn't a reading. This is just a book. It's one of the best books ever. Well, every book I read, I think, is the best book ever. So it's called Tending the Wild, Native American Knowledge and the Management of California's Natural Resources. So this is the only real ethnography or real, like, what is it called? Broad spectrum analysis of how different Native peoples lived in oneness with the land. I mean, you know, it's a different thing to just say that. It's a different thing to actually understand that these guys had, or like, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that, but the way Native Americans were living prior to us putting them onto American or Europeans or it's invaders, you know. Yeah, I guess you could, that's probably a really accurate term because that's historically what happened. But prior to the other continental invaders coming in and basically decimating their population via the illnesses that they brought, and then also putting them onto reservations and limiting their lifestyle. And when I say limiting, I mean criminalizing certain religious practices, or pretty much all of them for a while. I think it wasn't until the 1980s that it was decriminalized. I mean, for America, like the land of religious freedom, except, you know, it's just really ironic, and it's a beautiful thing that we can heal from if we can all pull, or it's not a beautiful thing, I don't know how to explain it, but it's something that if we can choose that virtuous path, and we can choose to heal it. And I think that means that the people who invaded need to actually concede and say, hey, you know, oop, hold on, screen or something. Anyway, I have lots of opinions, so I'm going to leave a lot of them out, but I'll just say that that book is amazing for teaching, like, the different, like a little bit more about the details about what it is like to truly live in harmony and intimacy with the land, with nature. And it's no replacement for the actual lived experience of doing so. So perhaps the reading is just a little call for you to go out and explore, and to feel what it's like to make your own twine from the materials that you have in your environment, to make your own baskets, to make your own trellises for your garden, or whatever it is that you actually might have an interest in making from natural materials, from whatever you can find hiking. And that's just one way to connect. And if you do it in a sacred way, I mean, don't just go out there and rip stuff apart, because I mean that's one way of interacting with the land, but to understand that it has its own life force, and that it has its own connection with God, its own divine connection. And because God is in all things, that's my belief. And so to understand that there's a beautiful partnership which is taking place between you and anything you interact with in nature, and to truly love it and to cherish it for what it is every moment of your life. Can you imagine how much joy that brings you just to be alive, and how much peace and how much sacredness and holiness? And so there are good things to come from connecting with nature in that way. So I'm just saying that maybe that is part of this message that the three quotes were indicating for whoever, the audience who sees this, the collective who sees it. So oh yeah, and just here, and this is the last thing. This is it. So I'm in the Southwest of America, which is there's a lot of desert. There's a lot of places that are forested too, believe it or not, and those are my favorite. But you can also find books like this, like for whatever sort of terrain that you're in. Like say you're in Europe, there's probably books on how to forage, natural materials, natural medicines. There's all sorts of beautiful things, and you just have to pray for the right books and the right materials to come your way, and you'll probably be led to them, because when you make that divine prayer and divine intention, God certainly rewards those who choose virtue. As you can see, that humanity, even though it is like the way we've moved is dark, but people are still becoming light. So each individual is unique and different, and each one is having its own unique spiritual awakening and experience. And so my advice is definitely get out into nature, learn how to be self-sufficient and in harmony and oneness with the earth, because there is nothing that can replace that experience. And so there's books out there to help people learn how to do so, and you don't have to be alone in doing it either. There are naturalist communities, naturalists like those who go out into nature and ID plants and ID animals, and they're adept at tracking or looking at tracks and signs and seeing, okay, this animal was probably here drinking water after it killed that thing that we saw back there, just things like that. So it's just a very interesting way to learn how to be one with all that is, that's already around you, in peace. Enjoy, everybody. Thanks for watching. Bye. Like and subscribe for more videos like this. Okay, lots of love. Bye-bye. And, oh yeah, actually, last thing, some other books. So you can actually become intuitive yourself and have intuitive communication. It's not like words. It's not human communication, or what we consider human communication. It's more emotional. It's more experiential. It's more like claircognizance, clairsentient, or sometimes people will actually get those sorts of like clairvoyance, like sorts of visual understandings, but in their mind's eye. Sometimes they'll actually get clairaudient, like, you know, in human words, sort of summaries of experiential packets of information that are communicated with you intuitively. But since you're not adept enough to receive the full packet, you actually receive just words instead. I mean, everybody's different. So that's the first thing that should be considered. But the more that you spend time in nature, which nature lives experientially, that's the language of nature. So the more time you spend in that language, the more time you're going to be speaking it. Just like any other language, like you can't just like wake up one day and say, like, I mean, though we all want to, I mean, we all wish it was this way, that we could just wake up one day and be like speaking Arabic or whatever language, like completely fluently, like marhaba. Just what a great day, you know. We all just wish we could do that, but you know, there's a lot of respect for putting in the legwork. So, you know, there's animal intuitive communication books out there for you. This is just one. There's many. And I wouldn't even say that this is the best one. This is just one that I like. And so, or I have on my desk. And then also regards to the ancestors, it's also, if you're really interested in learning about Native American culture and stuff, there's other books that you can read, such as The Women of the Apache Nation, or like I had this book called Apacheria, which I think was actually amazing, but I did give it away, so it's not on my desk anymore. But because I, like, once I read a book, I'm like so into it and I think it's the best book ever, and then I have friends and I want to give them the best book ever too. But you know, so that's I highly recommend the Apacheria book for those who want to learn about the history of the Apache Nation, which they were like literally, okay, you know, we think it's hard. We, like, the colonial peoples, we think that it's hard to like survive like a war of like even 30 years is like beyond our imagination. Like, we're like, oh my God, that's awful. But like the Apache people survived a war that was like pretty much like 300 years more. I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was more than 300 years. Just straight, like several generations of war, not just with one nation, not just with the United States, but since the Apache were also the Apache people, they're not even called the Apache, they're called the Nde, okay? And that's what they like to call themselves. So, any case, they would migrate, some of them would migrate north and south, you know, seasonally with the seasons. They would go south for the winters into the Sierra Madres, like the mountains in Mexico, and the mountainous forests in Mexico and such. And they were fighting both the Mexican armies and American ones. So, like, these are heroes or valiant warriors and fighters. Like, it's I think one of the extremes of human experience, just as the Dalits and the Shudras and the other untouchables, including the scheduled tribes. There's actual tribes people, indigenous people who still live in India, and they are considered like untouched, like they're like below untouchables, and or I wouldn't say below, but they're just they're considered untouchable, and those people have been suffering occupation for and religious discrimination. It's not just religious discrimination, it's financial, it's emotional, it's physical, it's sexual, it's everything. Just total abuse on almost every level for like, I don't know, thousands of years. So it's a very similar extreme. I think there's just extremes of consciousness that certain demographics of people on this planet have been taken to, and so it's very. I don't want to get into it actually anymore. I just want to share that if you want to educate yourself about the nobility and the leadership and the quality of character that it takes to still choose goodness even under such arduous circumstances, Apacheria is a good book. Okay. Yeah. Okay. To read about that if you're interested. Okay. Blessings and lots of love, everybody. Bye bye.